At 0710 local time, a Tomahawk missile erupts from the deck of the USS Spruant and starts screaming towards Iran. Then the booster falls away, and a turbofan the size of a coffee table spools to life, and the Tomahawk drops to 50 feet above the waterline. For seconds later, the next cell fires, then the next. Then the next. The largest American military operation since the 2003 invasion of Iraq has just started. And Iran was about to find out firsthand why Americans don't have free healthcare. Within 90 seconds, 8 missiles are
gone.
300 m northwest, 2 other destroyers are running the same drill. 25 Tomahawks now race their radar altimeters along the wave tops, threatening between Iranian coastal surveillance stations on routes designed to exploit every known gap in coverage. Flight time to the IRGC naval bases on Iran's southern coast, 40 minutes. Nobody in Iran has any idea they're coming. Somewhere on the Gulf Coast, an Iranian radar operator is probably drinking tea and watching a blank scope. He has about 39 minutes of peace left. But Tomahawks are patient and slow. 550 miles per hour across open water means 40 minutes of exposure, where a single coastal radar ping could compromise the entire southern attack. Everything now depends on what crossed the border ahead of them. Already inside Iranian airspace, a wave of Lucas drones is doing something no American weapon has ever done. An Iranian air defense operator at a Bavar 373 battery watches a dozen slow-moving contacts materialize on a scope, pushing inland from the coast at barely 110 knots. He can't tell which ones carry 40-pound warheads aimed at his radar antenna and which ones are just noise. So, he does the only thing training allows. He fires. The interceptor streaks off the rail. Over $1 million. It tracks a drone the size of a riding lawnmower, closes at 3 times the speed of sound, and turns it into confetti. But it wasn't a Tomahawk missile. What you just saw blow up was a low-cost unmanned combat attack system, or Lucas drone operated by Task Force. Scorpion Strike. The drones themselves, manufactured by Spectral Works in Mesa, Arizona, reverse-engineered from captured Iranian Shahid 130 SIXS, cost $35,000 to produce. And right now, they're the most important aircraft over Iran. He fires again, another million, and again. This is cost-exchange warfare at an industrial scale. Every interceptor that chases a drone cheaper than a pickup truck is one fewer in the magazine when 25 Tomahawk cruise missiles show up in 30 minutes. Worse, every time that battery fires, it broadcasts its exact position to the passive sensors on the F-35s now crossing the Iraqi border. That operator is spending his ammunition and painting a target on his own forehead at the same time. But the Iranian air defense commanders celebrating their wins are about to discover something. Those interceptors they just burned through, they were going to need every single one of them in about 25 minutes. Because what crossed the Iraqi border next wasn't a $35,000 drone. 12 F-15I ROMs had been climbing east through Iraqi airspace for 90 minutes, tucked behind a screen of F-35I, a deer running silent in the lead. Electronic warfare suites passively cataloging every radar emission along the Iranian border while broadcasting nothing. The ROMs flew in the electromagnetic shadow, each one hanging heavy with a Rampage missile slung under the fuselage center line. At 0805 local time, the formation reaches launch altitude over western Iraq. The lead weapons officer in the back seat has been watching his targeting display update for the last hour. Coordinates. Refined 3 times via Link 16 from an Israeli Oron intelligence aircraft circling over Jordan. He confirms the final solution. The pilot squeezes the release. 2,500 pounds drop away, and the ROM jumps, nose pitching up from the sudden weight loss. The flyby wire connecting before the pilot's hands can. Below the jet, the solid rocket motor lights. The weapon punches through the sound barrier in seconds, trailing a wide exhaust plume that the pilot can see shrinking in his rear view mirrors as the missile climbs away on a ballistic arc toward Tehran. 11 more ROMs release within seconds of each other. 12 weapons now accelerating beyond anything Iran can intercept at this phase of flight arcing east. A Tomahawk from Iraq needs 45 minutes to reach Tan. These weapons need minutes. That gap is the entire ball game. 45 minutes gives Iranian radar operators time to detect, track, get authorization, and fire. Minutes gives them time to watch the impact on the news. Spent rocket boosters will tumble into fields across eastern Iraq.